Shit. I knew the whole way down that was wrong, and I still did it. What's up? Hey, Rebel. Yeah, I know, Mala. I heard that too. What's up, Emil? Hi, Boomio. Jurassic Ape. Hi, Mizate. Prison cut. Yep. I am once again streaming from prison. Shit, man. When are you gonna make your next biologist reacts? What do you mean by biologist reacts? You mean fish biologist reacts? I actually think I have one soon. Fairly soon. Next time I do a content stream, which won't be too long from now because I need content. So I'm relearning the buttons right now to this game because I switched all of the buttons around. Oh, hi Nat. Oh, that reminds me. I need to do the fish bingo thing. That was a damn good idea that I never did, but I got a bunch of good ideas for. I'm gonna do that soon. It just rained here. I'll have to look at water levels. I could maybe record that tomorrow. I also have a bunch of other content stuff planned. Hi, Aram. Sorry to hear that. Shit. At least I chose the right piece. Chose the right rotation. That's the main thing I'm working on right now. Hi, Pluto. How's Fishman doing? I'm decent. My main concern right now is I have, tomorrow I will be playing a competitive match in CTM. And I currently am not used to the new controls, so... Wait, how did that... Wait, that got over? I just didn't even look. So I need to relearn all of the controls by tomorrow. So... You truly are a master of nuance, Burning Oak. I think I'm getting there. When I did the stream the other day, shit. Still, listen, I'm still missing a few. Game had to fucking prove me wrong. When I did the stream the other day, I had to think like really hard, and I was still getting the rotation wrong a lot of the time. Two out of three people I mod for shaved their heads this week. Solidarity, baby. They heard AVNJ was shaving his head. Did I tell you that I was dying earlier this week? You're always dying, but no, I don't think in particular you told me about this week. Oh. I did it too good. That was a crazy roll to just bink. I guess these fast-paced ones are good practice, right? 'Cause see, then I did the wrong thing because I was trying to go too fast. Burning Oak, you... Okay. Bye, Mazda. Have a good day. Ugh. Occasionally, when not thinking, I'm still making bad decisions. But, or, well, not bad decisions. Bad rotations. Decisions have been fine. Any particular reason? Because hair is annoying. I tried to play Ark on stream once upon a time, Juju, because I thought it would make a good YouTube video, and I had like played it plenty on my own, but I like could not get it to work. Well, like the game worked, but like the on the streaming end in terms of like frame rate and all that, I was having a ton of issues. And realistically, I could, fix that anytime. Like I could just troubleshoot and probably fix it. I just haven't. That was multiple years ago, I think, actually. I think, in fact, that was probably like a little bit over 2 years ago that I tried to do an ARC stream. And I tried for like 20 minutes to troubleshoot why it was dropping frames. But that was when I had a lot more viewers. And so I didn't want to just like waste time troubleshooting and lose all my viewers. You know? So I just moved on and never revisited it. But I'd love to. I should. I've played the game plenty. My best friend Nick and I have probably hundreds of hours in ARC each. And it's all together. Shit. Wrong decision. Wrong decision again. Oh, I actually almost got that over. Actually, I didn't need to get that over, did I? Oh, I did at some point. No, I should have. It would have been bad to get that over. Favorite art creature? I always tame the little flying things. I love them. They're my favorite. I can't remember what they're called now though. Dimorphodon? That sounds right. Yeah, probably. Probably it. Sounds right. Alright, I can already tell I'm rolling better. It's really just like when I'm forced to make really fast decisions that I'm doing poorly. Why is this off, by the way? Yeah, Dimorphodon sounds right. Yeah, I love those things. I would always tame a bunch of them. Try to find either strong ones or cool looking ones. I am not a professional ARC player by any means. Those hundreds of hours that I have in the game with my best friend are all just like, we progress to a point, get bored with grindiness, and then stop. But we have a lot of fun, and we get pretty like pretty down bad for ARC when we're grinding. When we're still like really into it. I wonder if I shouldn't have moved that square over. Ugh. Trying to like calculate in my head as I play. Why can I not just be smarter? Yeah, dude. Cool. Oh. Double pressed. Oh, and then when I have to go fast, I press the wrong button. Okay. I pressed the right one that time. How's the rotations? A lot better than when you last saw. It's pretty instinctual at this point. If I have to go too fast, I occasionally mess it up. Which means that I'm just, you know, I'm on the edge of having the muscle memory down. But most of the time, especially the thing that I was struggling with, which was the L's and J's, I'm doing them good now, so. Oh, never mind. Are you going to do another Kahoot soon? Frankly, I ran out of, like, viable Kahoots. I did so many that there just were no more good Kahoots to do. And, like, I was starting to have to force it, you know, like, it wasn't good content. And also, the Kahoot videos weren't doing very well. They're popular on stream because everybody likes to be the center of attention, but, in terms of the YouTube video, which frankly matters to me more, they were not that good. Doesn't Sweden have like the dwarf sharks that are pretty good? They're pretty cool. I don't know. Go on iNaturalist and look at sharks of Sweden. Sure you'll find some species you didn't even know that were there. Shit, I'm still screwing it up. When I get too high. Yep. But I'm hitting it like 50-50, which I'm not mad about. At this speed, at slow speeds, I'm hitting it like near 100%. At fast speeds, I'm like 50-50. So, I'm playing my, I don't know if you're still there, Knight. I'm playing my CTM match tomorrow. So, that's why I'm forcing myself to grind right now, because I need to know the rotations going into that. Obviously. Oh my god, my finger missed. I wonder if you could see that on camera. My finger missed the goddamn thing twice. That one I felt it was wrong as I did it. What's tomorrow? I'm playing in the CTM, in my monthly. In the monthly CTM tournament. Of course, my round one opponent should not be in the league that I'm in. It's a little bit fucked up. The round one opponent that I have has been in hopefuls before, which I know you guys have no concept of, but it's like a much higher league than the league that I'm in. And has a PB like way higher than mine. He just had really bad qualifying session by his standards. So he's in the wrong bracket, essentially. Any tips for photographing songbirds? Highly depends which songbirds. If you're talking about warblers, my tip is have a very expensive camera and a good eye. If you're talking about, like, I don't know, cardinals and shit, usually sitting still works pretty well. They're common enough. Something will come by you. You sit still in a good spot. You can also find spots that are better for photographing, you know? You don't have to be able to take a picture everywhere. Every, like, incredible National Geographic photo is not just a great camera and a great photographer. It's usually someone who found a great location to take a picture, you know? where you have like a good angle where the animal can barely see you and thus won't react, but you have like a great angle on them. Shit. I see his stuff on iNaturalist now. He posts some pretty cool stuff. He's getting into like life listing and native species and all that. The what's that guy's name? Cow turtle. I've identified some of his stuff on iNaturalist. It's cool that he's getting into native stuff. Yeah, pine warblers are one of the few that will stick around. Not necessarily migrate, from what I know. This is all anecdotal, of course. My information is basically just being passed on from friends that are birders, but I should build a Lego set. You guys are cute, but sometimes I think you have no concept of how YouTube works. And like what does well. Building the Meg out of a Lego. Yeah, I'm sure that video would bang. Shit. You guys are cute, but sometimes I think you're dumbasses. No, I think the average person just has a conflated idea of what does well on YouTube and what can be posted on YouTube and like how much leniency you have in terms of bad videos and so forth. You know what I mean? And that's fair. I'm sure I had the same delusions prior to doing it for a job, you know? But it just makes me laugh sometimes when people present. That's fine, you know, Lego, whatever. You can just do it for fun. But like some of the YouTube videos I get, ideas I get, like genuine ideas that I get, are just not the best. Hi, Liz. How you doing? You know, I thought so hard about that and I was wrong. Why did I do that? Yeah, still getting the wrong rotations. Oh yeah, Liz made 2 emotes. We have 2 new animated emotes. Thoughts on spear fishing? I mean, if you're doing it for food, it's fine. Almost anything is fine for food, as long as you're minimizing suffering. Spear fishing tends to. I don't know. I'm not one to judge other people. I don't really care, for one. I think there's a time and a place for being an activist and being against certain treatments of animals, and I think there's a time and place where it's actively harmful. New Liz emotes. I will say, I think they're a bit complicated for Twitch emotes. Like, when they get really small, you kind of can't tell what's going on in them. Like, I can barely tell. I don't even remember right now looking at them on my screen. Which is fair. They weren't intended as Twitch emotes. I was just like, hey, what if I added them to Twitch? Yeah, I think Twitch emotes need to be like really small, really like, Yeah, simple and based on like one central thing. That being said, I still have like 9 open Twitch animated emote slots. I don't have regular emote slots, but I have animated emote slots. So I have no issue leaving them there. Because frankly, nothing's going to take their place. There's no point in removing them when I don't have any emotes to replace them. That being said, long term, if I get a bunch of animated emotes, I'm sorry, Liz, but those will be first on the chopping block because I feel like you just cannot tell what's happening in them. Forgot to ask last time, but why are you wearing a glove? The glove helps reduce friction between my fingers. So you'll notice as I play the game, I'm rolling my fingers on the back of the controller. That's to basically mash really fast. You don't need to super understand how it works, but essentially I'm trying to hit the back of the controller really fast a bunch of times. And so what happens is you want like a really specific position for your hand and for the controller when you do that. Because you can imagine I'm not looking down at the controller every time I roll, right? In fact, I never look down at the controller. So I need the controller to stay in the same position, even though I'm fucking finger blasting the shit out of it, right? So the way that I make sure that it stays in the same position is I wear a glove, which reduces the friction between my hand and the controller, because otherwise I might just be like moving the controller around as I hit it, and then it's really hard to be accurate and precise. The glove just lets it bounce right off, essentially slide right past the controller. Going to New York and Baltimore next week. Never been in the States. Any trips for observing as many species as possible? I'm not sure exactly. Are you from like Canada or something? It highly depends where you're from, what you would get the most species doing. Usually the answer is just go to like a preserve of any sort. There's a ton of them here. You're from Norway? Okay, yeah. Just go to any forested area, preferably a preserve. Just like find something. If you're driving from New York to Baltimore, especially, you'll come through New Jersey. New Jersey has a ton of parks, preserves. Just find a place to walk on a trail or something. Because like literally every plant is going to be new to you. Almost every bird is going to be new to you. You know, like everything is going to be completely new to you. So it just makes the most sense to just hit up like a general trail. There's really no point in targeting anything unless you really want a certain species. There's no point in targeting anything the first time that you go somewhere. It just doesn't make sense. Because the reality is you're going to waste time when you could just go to like a very general thing like a preserve and probably get like 100, probably multiple hundreds of new species easily. Because you don't have any of the species in the area. I never had a mullet, Nat. You and the other trolls known as the homies always try to gaslight me. Even made a damn emote. But I did not have a mullet. Fuck. Okay. Well, we're getting to the point where, like, mechanical mistakes not related to rotations are becoming the issue again, which is great. Appreciate that. Improvement. My games are going better. Can't really complain, actually. For having switched playstyles, like, yesterday, this could be worse. That would have been better. Yeah, I mean, just look up local, like, nature center, hikes, parks, that kind of thing. Ah, my wrist. Actually could have worked. That's an idea. If I, for some reason, wanted a sloper. Should play like this since this is how I'll have to play tomorrow. Get used to the head back position. I knew it was wrong. Okay, we're getting to the point where my instinct is now correct. The rotation button that I want to instinctually press is correct. And I just need to stop doubting it. Because I'm doing the thing where I'm like, oh, instinctually I want to press this button, but then I'm like, is that right? And then I press the other one and it's always wrong. My instinct is correct now. It's interesting. Relearning like button mappings is a whole like psychological process. Because at first your instincts are wrong every single time, and you have to teach yourself not to trust your instincts. In fact, you have to do the exact opposite of what you instinctually want to do. And then at some point in the middle, it gets a little murky, and you have to like trust your instincts half the time and not the other half of the time. And that's the really difficult part to get past. And then the like closing sequence of relearning buttons is when your instincts are correct, but you're still doubting them because you're not fully used to new controls yet. And I'm there right now. I'm like doubting my instincts, even though they've been mostly correct. So I need to start or stop doing that, I guess. Like, look, this is all correct. Am I making great decisions? Not necessarily, but my moves are correct. That one was not. I mean, that was just slow decision making in general. But also, I pressed the wrong button. Generally speaking, I'm pressing the correct button most of the time, which is cool. I have not survived to 19 yet on new rotation. That'll be like the test of when I survive to 19 with the new button layout. It'll be like, all right, I'm used to it. Ah, shit. Any ideas for some animations? Make Zach break dance. We already have a bunch of dancing emotes, but if that's what calls you, do whatever calls you. Brains are so funny. My brain knows damn well I cannot read the people talking in Norwegian in chat, and yet I keep reading out the letters as if I'm going to understand it. I like keep looking over, and every time I read it, and the outcome's the same every time. I still don't speak Norwegian. Didn't speak Norwegian 5 seconds ago, still don't. But my brain wants to try every time. Oh, that didn't clear anything. Okay. Try harder? Yeah, maybe if I just stare at it a little closer, I'll suddenly speak Norwegian. Do you think playing 19 would slow the process down or speed it up? Isn't that how you learn languages? No, not really. Being surrounded by the language to the point where you're tired and then giving yourself rest to take it in certainly helps in the language learning process, but you need like baseline first. I don't know like any words in Norwegian, so no matter how much I stare at Norwegian text or listen to Norwegian music, it's not going to help. You need some kind of like reciprocation, some way to find out what something means. Now, if I was actually actively trying to learn Norwegian, I was like translating what they wrote and all that online and then looking up the words and all that. Then yes, having native speakers saying a bunch of shit might be helpful, but you don't just learn a language like that. At least it's not efficient to do so. Oh, I missed. Duolingo on its own is nearly useless. I have a lot of opinions about language learning. You feel free to take them with a grain of salt if you want, but I've self-taught myself multiple languages, mostly online, speak multiple languages natively, and was originally going to college for linguistics before I switched to fish. Oh, I had that save. Fucking hell, dude. Is Sweden in Europe? Yeah, man. Yeah. Sweden's in Europe. It's one of the big islands on top. Yemen? Yeah, that's accurate, Pluto. I'm not saying Duolingo is a bad learning aid, but I know a lot of people who like the frustrating part to me is when people do Duolingo like near daily or daily and they keep these really long streaks and they're like really proud of it and they're really not taking in any information about the language. But then they sort of act morally superior for having like being like, oh well, I learn like a language. And it's like you really don't. Like you are doing the same thing that chess idiots do, which is like, and again, I play chess. People like learn chess every day, and for some reason think that that is like different than playing a different video game. Like you're not becoming smarter, like more intelligent person. You're just building a skill just the same way as if you were playing Minecraft competitively or playing CS:GO or something like that. It's all the same shit. Duolingo's the same thing. It's a gamified system. You are learning how to play the game. And you are most likely, unless you're properly supplementing Duolingo, you are not taking in information that will genuinely help you should you want to, say, visit the country or test your language skills with real human beings. But people like, if you look up like ways to better your life or like things I can do to feel, more productive or anything like that, one of the number one answers is always learn a language. And everyone is like, oh, cool. I'll just like go on Duolingo or some similar language learning app and practice like a word a day and keep a streak that makes me feel happy. And it's like you have not improved your life. I know I sound bitter about it, which is not like I'm not bitter about it, but it's hard to convey it in a way that doesn't make me sound bitter about it. Because like if it makes you happy to have a 100-day streak on Duolingo, then you absolutely should do that, right? Like you should do the thing that makes you feel productive and happy. But the fact that the most accessible like language learning tool to the average person is all but useless on its own is a little frustrating. If you want to see Northern Lights, just go to Alaska. Well, if you're in the US. At least then it's a domestic flight. You don't have to worry about anything. Don't even need a passport for now. You guys go to Sweden to shop? That's crazy. The concept of being that close to another country is crazy to me as an American. Yeah, it's so much cheaper. Interesting. I can't imagine everyone's doing that, or even really that many people are doing that, because if that were the case, then, you know, the Norwegian shopping malls would get outcompeted by Swedish ones, and that would be a big problem that the government would not stand for. So is that like only people who live in border towns and are willing to make the extra drive? Ugh. Gotcha. That's what I figured. We have lake trout in New Jersey, Jurassic Ape. I've also already been to Alaska. And no, I'm not doing song requests right now. I need to fucking drill the Tetris. Uh-oh. Kitty's in crackhead mode. God damn it, stream. Alright, I am currently not streaming. Cool. Talking to myself right now. Oh, and are we back? Okay. I think it recovered now. It was dead for a solid 30 seconds. Straight to jail. I barely identify things on iNat email, so, but good job. I really only identify things that require me. Like minnows and stuff that people tag me in, or like New Jersey fish that other people aren't identifying. I typically will never do supporting IDs. Like if someone has already said the correct answer, I'm not gonna go in and identify again. It's just, I don't know. It's not worth time, frankly. But if there's like, a completely unidentified fish or anything like that, or I see that the wrong answer is checked, then yes, I'll identify it. But my goal is not to just identify a bunch of shit. My goal is to identify when it's worthwhile, when I can actually contribute beyond just puppeting what someone else already ID'd it as. Well, this was dumb. Oh, I don't know why I thought that'd clear something. All right, I'll commit to going to 1 hour, and then I'm probably going to be done with the stream. So, another 20 minutes. It's really hard to, like, want to play the game when I have no well, I don't have no control, but I have not as much control as I would like over the pieces. I can only do this in, like, bite-sized sessions, but I'm getting better. I should probably, like, stop playing like a crackhead. Isn't the glove a bit irritating? In what way? You mean like irritating my skin? If so, no, I haven't really experienced that. I don't mind the glove at all. Annoying and throwing you off? Well, I've always used the glove as long as I've played rolling. As long as I've rolled, I've used the glove, so I don't even know what rolling is like without it. So it's very normal. It would probably be annoying to roll without it, since I'm so used to it. Not particularly, Juju. What the heck? What are you talking about? And what the fuck is an Andrew Tate song? My left wrist is not having fun right now for some reason. Probably gonna have to take the rest of the night off, which is not good for my ability to win my match tomorrow, but I'm probably fucked regardless unless the guy majorly fucks up, so. Oh well. He used this song a lot. Well, I know who Andrew Tate is. I didn't know that he used a Andia song. I just like the musician. No. Yeah, that's fair. I have songs like that for me, where it's connected to something negative. So even though the song is like a banger and I really enjoy it, I can't think of it in the way that I want to, because it just reminds me of something negative. Unfortunately, people have the power to make you associate songs with them. Come on. Do you know there's a subreddit dedicated to you? Yeah. It's really stupid. It was run by like a 12-year-old. And they posted like twice on it and said a slur or something, and then I told them to take it down. And so they took it down. And now it's just like a graveyard where people occasionally post something. People like who find my YouTube channel are like, oh my god, and then they post on the AVNJ YouTube or subreddit as they're trying to like hyper fixate on my existence. And then no one responds because there's no one else there. Shit. Oval music is goated. Oval's band came on earlier. One of the songs, like I don't know, 12, 15 minutes ago was Oval's band. Gonna have another AVNJ's Adventures anytime soon. Yeah. Hopefully the beginning of May, and then I should have one in June, and then I should have one in July. It's an AVNJ's Adventures kind of summer. In May, I am going to Alabama to go caving, see some cave fish with some other YouTubers who are professional cavers. In June, I am going to the Tetris World Championship, but I'm starting off by going on like a fishing road trip for like a week through Arizona and California. Oval music wasn't banned. Are you going to document the caving? Well, that's what I'm saying. It's an AVNJ adventure. Yes, it will be a YouTube video. I'm going with other YouTubers, so we will all be filming. They're a bit like less of YouTubers. Cavers are interesting because they seem to like not necessarily want to be YouTubers. But then there's obviously like a lot of benefits to being able to just like upload your hobby and make money off of it. And so the cavers I've interacted with obviously recognize that and like monetize videos and try to get their videos to do well. But I don't know if it's like a pride thing, but they seem somewhat embarrassed to like promote their own videos or like, God forbid, ask someone to subscribe or something like that, you know? They want to feel like they're above. This is a gross generalization, but they somewhat want to feel like they're above being YouTubers while getting the benefits of being YouTubers, which if you can make it work is sick. Doesn't typically work though. At some point you will have to do something that younger you would have called the YouTuber a sellout for doing. And that's okay. So it'll be interesting to film with them. Yeah, that's the crazy part about me. Like the one of the guys that I'm going with, one of the YouTubers, literally like they have very little biological knowledge because, you know, they don't need biological knowledge. But they go into caves and they'll like see a cave fish, and because they're so used to seeing cave fish in their caves, they'll like barely even address that it's there. They'll like point the camera at it briefly, but they don't even address it or talk about it or anything. It's just like it's on camera for a second and that's it. It's just so like normalized because they're in caves so much. Meanwhile, I go into a cave, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be taking a shitload of underwater footage. All right, 10 more minutes. Let's try 19. How many cavers do you think pass new species not even thinking? I think almost, if you live in southern US, almost every time you go into a cave, you're going past undocumented species. Not just like fish or crayfish, like the obvious ones, but like springtails. Like, you know who actually studies their cave springtails? Like, I think it's West Virginia or Virginia. One of the two actually studies the like cave springtails, and they have like 100 something species of undescribed springtail, where it's like X cave springtail, X cave springtail, X cave springtail. And that's in a state that doesn't have as many caves. Like Alabama has so many more caves than Virginia or West Virginia. So imagine how many isolated springtail populations are there, but they're just not studied. Probably every springtail you pass in a cave in Alabama will be a new species. I'll be documenting them for the sake of, documenting them when I go, but my 19 skills are not great. When I speed it up, my rotation buttons are bad, which is good that I'm practicing this because this will make 18 seem easier. My decision making on 18 seem easier. Oh, for some reason I thought that was 3 wide. Any tips for observing weevils? Depends where you live. I know you said Norway. I don't know a ton about the environment there. They are, for the most part, light attracted. So you can find some by leaving a porch light on at nighttime. You can also find them under logs, like right now, especially when it's cold outside, when it's winter. The only place you will ever really find weevils are under logs. They'll be like sleeping in little crevices on logs if you roll them over. But during the summer, they'll just like be out and about. Probably the best thing you can do is, oh, Jesus, find the host plant of the weevils that you want to find. Like pick a species of weevil. You can start with a relatively common one. Find out what host species, because most weevils are specialized to like a specific plant. And so say, for example, you find out that like it's a weevil that's specialized to a certain species of oak. Well, then find that oak first, and chances are if you spend enough time around that oak, you'll find the weevils. It's not always the case, but it can often be easier to track the host plant because, plants don't move. So if you see an iNaturalist observation for the plant, you could probably find it pretty easily unless it died or was taken out. So you find the host plant on iNat, you go find that, and then you spend some time around it, and you'll find the weevils. There are very few host plants that will not have weevil activity on them. Weevils are pretty damn good at finding their host plant. Yeah, you're not going to find many caves below sea level, burning oak. But I don't know what state you're in, but pretty much every state in the South has a bunch of caves. Maybe not Louisiana. But like Mississippi, Alabama, all have a bunch of caves. Here in Oklahoma, we have a good amount of caves, but no one talks about them. So there's multiple different factors, especially when it comes to cave life. Like New Jersey has a lot of caves, but no interesting cave life because our caves aren't deep enough or weren't naturally exposed. So like the deepest cave in New Jersey was exposed through a quarrying operation. So it has basically no life in it because it was completely closed off to the surface prior to being mined up during quarrying. And the caves that we do have are too shallow for there to be cave species. Like, there's not enough room in the cave for the species to be separated from the outside world and thus speciate. Basically, everything we have either comes in and out of the caves or spends most of their time in the cave, but will occasionally come out. Like, the closest thing we have to proper cave species are a spider that's like a cave obligate species. But it's not its own species because it's all across the US. But that's like the closest thing we have. Just look up a map of karst regions in the world. That's where caves can form. We haven't found most of... Probably we haven't found most of the caves that exist, and even most of the ones that come to the surface. But if you look up karst regions, you'll see where they all theoretically can be based on the geology. Any tips for catching darters? Are you using a dip net? If they're going through your legs over and over again, put the net in between your legs. If you lift a rock, darters will typically swim against the flow. Will get carried by the flow backwards. So if you lift a rock and put the net behind it, that'll typically do the trick. Darters are one of the easiest fish to catch, in my opinion. They're pretty stationary, they're not super fast, and they have very predictable escape behavior. Ugh. Oh, I'm sure if you do proper reptile hunting, you will find cool reptiles in Florida. There's a lot of cool ones. I want to go down to the Pine Barrens soon to find some, I don't know why I did that. Go down to the Pine Barrens soon to find some snakes. I have, like, no snakes in New Jersey. I think I have garter, ribbon, and water snake, and that's all that I've seen in New Jersey. But we have a good amount of herps, or... yeah, snake species. I'm just inexperienced, but I want to go down to the Pine Barrens. I want to go down to the Pine Barrens for a bunch of reasons. I want to flip a bunch of logs for beetles and other stuff, but... shit. What do you think when Southerners call sunfish perch? I don't know. Everyone has their local names for stuff. People in New Jersey call fucking Atlantic menhot and peanut bunker. Can't really judge others. I don't think we have timber rattlesnakes. We have a rattlesnake though. Maybe pygmy or something. I forget. I really don't know our local snake species. I probably should. All right. That's an hour. I'll play one game or a couple games of 29. Just to really reinforce the whole speed as long as I can. Yeah, see, I pressed the wrong one because I had to think too fast. You're getting better? Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm 10 times better than I was 2 days ago at pressing the right buttons. But see, I'm still like that. I pressed the wrong button. I'm still doing it, you know? Oh, maybe it's diamond rattlesnake? I forget. I really got to look at the snakes of New Jersey. I know nothing about our snakes. I've barely seen any. All right. That's it for me, gamers. Have a good night, everyone. Adios.